Budapest 2023 World Championships finally going down this Saturday, August 19th in Budapest, Hungary. All the athletes have been preparing for this moment. All the fans have been predicting, have been debating, have been watching. This is where everything finally comes to an end. And I'm of course going to be giving my predictions, my top three in every single sprint jump and hurdle event, from the 100 to the 400 to the 4x1 to long jump, triple jump, all of it. Going to give my top three. Now, of course, I have to caveat, these are my personal predictions, just based on things I've been seeing this season, things from previous seasons, my personal thoughts and opinions as well. Of course, people are not going to agree with them. Of course, people are going to hate with them. Of course, people are going to agree, but go in the comments below. Let me know who your predictions are if you disagree with mine, and let's have that conversation. And in addition, be sure to stay tuned, as of course, I'm going to be in Budapest at the World Championships, doing interviews with the athletes, getting content there. So go in the comments and let me know what type of content you might want to see, what type of questions you might want to ask the athletes, as I definitely want to be able to talk to them and, provide some feedback, tell some stories and all that. But let's jump right into it. Starting off with the women's 100-meter dash. This has been one of the top events across the entire season. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, 5-time world champion, defending champion, making her comeback after some injuries throughout the early parts of the season. Also, Shericka Jackson, silver medalist from last year. Also, Sha'Carri Richardson, USA champion. Marie-Josée, multiple-time world championship medalist, right? All these women have been in the mix. Julian Alfred, NCAA champion. We also have Dean Smith, who's been coming back from some setbacks early on in the season as well. We're really looking forward to a very, very deep race. But if I'm talking about my top three in the women's 100-meter dash, well, this might surprise a couple people. Third place, I'm giving it to Sha'Carri Richardson. Now, Sha'Carri Richardson, of course, she has been kind of up and down when we're talking about her overall career since coming out of the NCAA in 2019. But this year has really, really shown that she can compete with the best wherever, whenever. Of course, she won the USA title, but overseas, she won the 100 meters at the Doha Diamond League over Shericka Jackson. She also won the Silesia Diamond League in Poland over Shericka Jackson there as well. She also beat out Dean Smith a couple times. So she's been very, very consistent. She's run 10.7 seconds multiple times. Of course, she has that windy 10.57 seconds from earlier in the season. I think because of her consistency, her ability to actually beat some of the best women, I'm putting her to get on that podium and make it as a bronze medalist. Now, I'm not putting her as silver or gold despite the wins, only because some of the other ladies do have a proven track record of performing at the highest level when it really counts. Unfortunately, Sha'Carri Richardson has not been there yet, so not going to put her at gold or silver, but I do predict that she's going to be able to get the bronze medal. Silver medal, again, this might surprise people, but Marie-Josée. Now, she has been kind of the underdog over the past couple years, right? She's missed a couple medals, but she does have double silver medals from 2017 at the World Championships. She also has a bronze medal from the 2019 World Championships in the 100. She missed out in Tokyo, she missed out in Eugene, but considering what she's been able to do this season, running 10.75 seconds multiple times, she also took down Shericka Jackson once earlier in the season as well. I think Marie-Josée is going to step things up and finally get back on the podium in the silver medal position. I don't think she's going to get gold. She could very well get gold, but I think she's going to get the silver here. And I think she's going to set a personal best. Her PB is 10.72 seconds from last year. I think she's definitely going to go sub 10.7 seconds in the 100 meters here. So look out for Talu. I think she's getting a silver medal. Gold medal, again, this is going to surprise people, but Shericka Jackson. Now, it's crazy. I didn't pick Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, but let me make the case for Shericka Jackson. Now, Shericka Jackson, super consistent, world leader, 10.65 seconds. She, of course, is a silver medalist from last year. She's a bronze medalist from the Tokyo Olympics. And though she has some losses this year, right? She lost to Talu, she lost to Richardson twice. She might have lost to Dean Smith in that same race she lost to Talu. But remember, in that second half of the season, she was very explicit about her training through those races. Remember that 21.85 that she ran in the 200 and she crossed the line, was like super, super surprised. I think we know that she's been training through those races and she's been getting better and more consistent overall. She's been running multiple 10.8s. She's run 10.7s. She has that world lead of 10.65 seconds. We know that she is a championship performer through and throughout, when she was a 400 runner to now as a 100, 200 runner. I think that Shericka Jackson is going to take the gold medal, but I only have it by a slight edge. When I say gold medal, I'm not talking about walking away with the gold medal. I'm just talking about a slight edge. I think Shericka Jackson is in that driver's seat to get the gold medal in that 100 meters. Again, only because of her consistency, her world lead, her ability to be in the mix and her ability to show up when it counts at the biggest stages. So the question is, why don't I have Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce? Well, I think this is going to be a very, very tight hair. In my opinion, I think Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is just going to miss out by an edge, getting that 4th place spot. Well, of course, she's run 10.8 seconds twice this season in her only 200-meter races. She unfortunately dealt with injuries early on, so she didn't get to run until Jamaica Championships, but I think that it's going to just be enough to not get her on the podium. Now, let me be very clear. Between Shericka Jackson, Ta Lou, Sha'Carri Richardson, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, Julian Alfred, Dina Asher-Smith, I think between all 6 of them, they're really, really going to be close. If I really had to pick a top 6, I'd say Shericka Jackson, Marie-Josée, Ta Lou, Sha'Carri Richardson, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, Julian Alfred, and then Dina Asher-Smith. But it's going to be very, very close. I think that we're possibly going to see a 10.5 second run from Shericka Jackson, maybe, but we could see 3 women run 10.6 seconds and then 3 other women run 10.7 seconds and not make it onto the podium. Is that likely? Probably not, but it could very well happen. But that's my predictions. Shericka Jackson, Marie-Josée, Ta Lou, Sha'Carri Richardson. Let me know what you think. Let's move over to that men's 100-meter dash. Now, this is probably a lot more wide open than anyone thinks relative to any other event, right? But I'm going to give you that top 3 again. This is my personal top 3. Bronze medal, 3rd place, I have Letsile Tebogo from Botswana. Now, he has been having a very, very consistent season across the board. 400-meter personal best, 300-meter personal best, 200-meter personal best, and just off his 100-meter personal best. He's just right there, right? But I think his consistency has kind of gone overlooked a little bit considering what he's been doing. He's been dipping into all the different events. He hasn't run his personal best in 100 yet. He's only run 9.92 seconds, but he's always been in the mix, right? He's finished, behind a couple guys. He hasn't won any major races, but I think that trajectory that he's on, as well as his experience, he's run the rounds in World Juniors 2021, as well as in 2022, and then at the World Championships in 2022, he did make the semifinals. I think he's really learned from that, and we can see this year, Tebogo is a very different athlete. Now, of course, this is my opinion, my prediction, but I think he's going to be able to step things up and get onto that podium in the bronze medal position. Probably in the future, Tebogo is probably a very good candidate for multiple gold medals, but for now, I think this is going to be his breakout to at least get on the senior podium. 2nd place, that silver medal, I'm looking at Akani Simbine. Now, Simbine, probably a controversial pick considering his history in the 100-meter dash, right? 2016, 17, 19, 21, and 2022, he's made every single final and finished 4th or 5th every single time. He has never been on the podium and he has never finished lower than 5th place. But what's crazy is I like this year for him. I think all those previous years are going to really give him that drive to get onto that podium, and I think the silver medal position is a really good shot for him. Why? Well, look at what he's kind of done throughout the entire season. He arguably has been the most consistent athlete outside of Fred Kerley. And guess what? Simbine is the only athlete to actually beat Fred Kerley this year, right? Beat him at the Silesia Diamond League. He has a season's best of 9.92 seconds, so not really a top time. I think it's the 9th best performance entering the World Championships this year, but he's been super consistent, 5 times under 10 seconds this year. He has a couple, major wins, like I said, Silesia Diamond League, Stockholm Diamond League, Ostrava Grand Prix, right? So he's been getting some very major wins. And then also he's been beating a lot of the top guys, right? He beat Fred Kerley. He actually beat Zarnell Hughes at the Atlanta Adidas Grand Prix, right? He beat Charleston. He beat Tebogo. So he has a very good string of races and wins under his belt. And additionally, he always makes those global finals. Despite finishing, 4th or 5th place, he always does make those global finals. But that is a knock, but I'm looking at it as a motivation for him to get on that podium. I'm picking Simbine to get on that podium and specifically to make the silver medal. Gold medal, I think you guys can probably predict who I'm going to pick. I'm looking at Fred Kerley just for an edge. Now, he's been the most consistent athlete in the 100-meter dash this season, despite the kind of, disparity where, it's an open field. Fred Kerley, of course, the defending world champion from 2022. He's run 9.88 seconds, which is the 3rd fastest performance. He's run sub 10 in every single race, and he's run races all across the world, right? Japan, Rabat, Rome. He's been all across the world, and he's faced all the top competition, except for a couple guys, right? He hasn't faced Coleman or Hughes, right? Because they haven't run as much as, some of the other guys. But Fred Kerley, I think he's really, really consistent considering what he's been able to do, and I still think he is the edge-on favorite. And really put in perspective, if you were to place all your money on one guy, if you had to pick one guy, Fred Kerley is probably the edge-on favorite at the moment. Now, let me be very, very clear. I'm not saying he's going to walk away with the gold medal. No one in the 100-meter dash has really separated themselves. but I do think that Fred Kerley is going to be able to defend his title. And I think that these quote unquote slow times, 9.9s, 9.8s, whatever, I think people are going to step it up when we get to the World Championship. So Fred Kerley, Akani Simbine, Letsile Tobogo, gold, silver, and bronze in that men's 100-meter dash, just my picks. I do think Zarnell Hughes is probably going to get 4th place. I do think Christian Coleman is probably going to get 5th place. You know, we're going to have Charleston, Lyles, we're going to have Ferdinand Omanyala. Those are the guys who are probably going to be in the mix, right? Oblique Seville. But I don't think Zarnell Hughes, there's not enough reason for me to justify him getting on the podium yet. His championship record is unfortunately not great. He hasn't made the finals last year. He false started in Tokyo. Previous years, he hasn't made the finals, or he's, you know, finished, you know, low down the pack. So there's no real justification outside of his world lead. And then, of course, outside of that world lead, that 9.83 seconds, he unfortunately hasn't broken 10 seconds throughout the entire season. Now, granted, that 10.03 race I think he had at the British Championships where it was pouring rain, you know, complete downpour, that was an amazing run and very likely in good conditions, could have been 9.9, 9.8. But again, I'm personally going off of what I think is going to happen, what I've seen in the past, and kind of my justification for certain things. Please go in the comments, let me know who you have for your men's 100-meter dash top 3. But again, these are just my opinions. I know everyone doesn't agree with them. I know everyone has different predictions. You might agree with some of them, but let me know who your top 3 or who your picks are for any of these different events. And like I noted, I'm of course going to be in Budapest. I'm going to be talking to the athletes. I'm going to be doing interviews. Let me know any questions that you might have for some of these athletes, even for some coaches who I might be able to run into. Go in the comments, let me know some of your questions, and let me know your predictions. And also, let me know what you're most excited for at these Budapest World Championships. These are going to be extremely fast, extremely exciting. So many things are going to be going down regardless of who is or is not running, right? So be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Be back again next time. Thanks for watching.